Thank you for joining this afternoon, the next in the series of this successful introvert workshops. My name is Brian Johnson, the host, and it's really great to be here as we move into 2023. For myself, as an introvert, I really used to struggle with understanding who I am in a big extrovert world around me, and also as someone who has a bit of a stammer and stutter that just seemed to put another bit of a barrier in the way of finding the success I wanted, and trying to behave in ways that didn't simply sit with me just really was a drain on my energy going forward. And for years in the work environment, working in financial services, I really struggled and felt frustrated. And for me, the changing point was when a wise boss provided me some real guidance, and seeing my strengths as a quiet introvert were strengths to be recognised, and finding the ways to be seen and heard in ways that really worked with me. And in the last few years, I've really been following my passion, helping create change in other people, and stepped away from financial services and now spend my time really coaching and mentoring people to help them find the success they want. And as part of that, I'm running these weekly sessions to help us explore each week a different area and setting up practical ideas and tips you can use straight away. I do firmly believe we are all on a journey, and every day we can choose to move towards or away from the destination we're aiming for. You feel free to comment in the chat or contact me afterwards. I'm quite a reflective person, so I love doing these sessions, and I always learn something from every time I do them. And other people are the same. So today, this afternoon, we're really thinking about making your voice heard at work. And the question often is, who actually hears you? As a quiet person in the office, I'd often just sit there getting on and doing what I was told to do, and realizing that actually people didn't really notice it, whether or not I was there, what I was really doing, and get that sense of feeling ignored and wonder why, I wasn't getting listened to, I wasn't getting involved, I wasn't getting the promotions and recognitions I was looking for. Do you really feel appreciated in the work environment? Do you ever think about what your colleagues think about you, or how you feel compared to other people? Often just asking yourself those questions, and how do I feel appreciated at work? What gives you that idea of really what we're thinking about, what we're looking forward to going forward? It's all about using those questions about a sense of feeling appreciated to, valued and noticed, and being clear on actually what we want. The important thing is to be clear on what being heard actually means to you. For each of it means something different. Some of us like that sense of just people acknowledging the work we've done, things we've done, seeking out, feeling like people seek out our opinion on issues, and we get the recognition when we've done successes, and that sense of just being included. That's in social conversation and events which are going on in the office. There have been times, because I've been too quiet and not engaging with anybody, that I just felt left out. There's lots going on, people are organising social events, and for instance, you just get left out. And understanding what was driving that is really one of the things I've worked with. So for me, it's really worth spending a few minutes just thinking about what it is being heard in work means to you. And it's about creating a positive language, avoiding negative words, and putting it in a way which focuses on the things you can do. It's not, I wish my boss would speak to me. It's thinking about that sense of feeling that I am heard, since I'm known, I'm seen, I'm heard in the office, I'm appreciated, I'm valued. When I complete a task, I'll get acknowledgement. When people are asking for opinions, I'll be included. Often when we're thinking about, I don't feel heard in the office, we don't sit down and we don't actually then figure out what that actually means. So taking that time to figure out what it is you're actually looking for and give you some clear, practical goals. Okay, so I don't get the appreciation from my boss in the work environment is, you know, a good starting point. And thinking actually, what will be different when I'm actually achieving that? What is going to be there when I achieve that? Well, when I do, for instance, feel appreciated by my boss, how different am I going to feel than I do now? Being open to exploring our emotional reaction to the things we want can help us find the solutions we are looking for. And it might be, you can start thinking, actually, I feel valued and appreciated in work, I will feel motivated to come in, I'll feel motivated to arrive early and work late, I will have a smile on my face, I will feel content, happy inside. I will see the practical outpourings on that with progression in my career. I will notice people more regularly ask me for their opinion. I get included in the conversations. Yeah, and it's just noting actually what you want to achieve and what success, how you'll measure success. What does success look like? Is it that the next round of bonuses you actually get one? It's setting yourself some clear goals. So that sense. Often we sit there and go, I want to, we talk about wanting more of something or less of something, less excluded, more involved. We don't define what they mean, so we've got no idea where we are on that journey. Once you start saying, actually, the first step is I will, you know, get involved in the coffee round in the office, whatever small step looks to you, just making that small change is what will really make the difference. And it's really just thinking about actually what do I need to do. And then when we know what we want, the one important step to creating change is really just spend a few minutes thinking about what other people want from you, putting yourself in their shoes. If you look at your work colleagues, just imagine in your mind you are one of your work colleagues looking at you. Just think about actually what are they feeling? What are they thinking? They see you as a boring, quiet, relevant person. What would they like from you? Would they like you to really like ask you a question? What would they like? And this is all about letting our imagination run wild. I sit here just thinking through that and thinking through my personal examples, thinking actually, knowing what I know now, what would I have done 10 years ago with my boss? How would I have engaged differently? What I've learned is that we all try and engage with people from our perspective. We all have different ways of wanting to communicate with people. Getting more noticed is actually going, actually, what is it that person wants? Changing how you approach them, changing your language. And this is really one of the key things. If you're talking your language, just for instance, if you're quite a fact-based person, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that, and the other person loves more story behind it. When I was doing this, I came across this problem, and actually I had a great conversation with Lisa across the office, Charles across the office, and they really helped me, and we really got that problem solved, and it's great, we achieved it on time. Some bosses want that story, some just want the facts, and it's understanding what they want to be more noticed and engaged. So we are all responsible for understanding what other people want. And this is something I would recommend, thinking about different people in the office, pick the top 4 or 5 people you may want to be noticed and more appreciated by, and just think about what they want. Notice how other people engage with you. What you want understanding is how other people engage with those you want to be more noticed by. What is different about how they interact with them than you do? What could you change? It's not about changing who you are. The person with the most flexibility is the one who generally wins, because they are using their strengths to get what they want, and they aren't trying to impose who they are on somebody else. For me, this is quite an important thing to do. What do you want, what others want from you? So it's not about engaging in conversations you don't like, and so that interest you in language and working in the city of London. There's a bit of drinking culture. It doesn't mean you need to get involved in that, but it's finding the level you can adapt to a point you can take it. This is me and no further. People recognize when you are willing to adapt to what they want from you to create change. This is really, it's not about doing something against your beliefs and values. It's about finding the common ground. Often we sit there and, it's the other person's fault. They just don't get me. They just don't care. They're not making any effort. And reality is, it's our approach which is causing the problem. The big question is, what could I do differently? What would be different if I changed my approach? What could I do which is within my comfort zone, within my reach, which will make that big difference, so I can achieve, I can be noticed, I can feel valued and appreciated? They are the big questions really to sit down and ask yourself. As I sit here today and having really busy morning and finding my energy a bit drained, it's one of those things, somehow our life suddenly can get really busy and hectic. One of the important things is to know that changing approach, knowing my limitations. I know my limitations, and one of those is really speaking for 20 minutes is really pushing against my limitations, and I find my energy drained. Changing my approach is knowing actually this is the level I can engage in. And this morning when I was doing some voluntary advising work, I was just drain my social battery and come back in the work environment and not had time to fully recharge. And I really noticed that, but changing my approach is understanding limitations of why. So if you look at the top 4 or 5 people, how you want to different reference to what is people who have the relationship with them, who are noticed in the way I want to be, what do they do differently? How can we level up? That is the question. We come through here, it's just thinking about what you have learned, what steps you'll do differently going forward. Well, for me, it's always about, so what can I learn? I continue on this path, where is it going to get me? Is it going to get me where I want to be? I continue on that path, where is it going to take me, get me where I where I could be going. For me, it's about thinking about the small changes. I'm not happy with how I'm being noticed and appreciated here. What can I do differently? What is it they want? Teams people I work with thinking, actually, what is it they want? Everyone has different needs. They are trying to do their job in a way that uses their strengths. And we need to recognise that and do that. And it's just our language, changing our language, really simple thing. The challenge today is really just thinking about one person. What the one thing will you do different when to interact with them in a way which will help achieve your goal? What one small change will you do today? Will you do it consistently this week? All about consistent change. Think about what you can do tomorrow. How will you measure moving forward? What would you need to see change for you to go moving forward? We're seeing progress. This is great. That is really the big question. Ask yourself. So today, as we come to the end, please feel free to ask me any questions. You can either put them in the chat or send me an email afterwards. You will really appreciate any comments, what you liked, what you didn't like. Was it helpful? Big challenge is always structuring something which people find helpful. And I'm on a learning journey as I explore different areas and different things. If it's something you can actually want to think about, this is the big area I want to work on next week, do let me know. I can really adapt. If you want to send me an email, you can send it to brian@brianpauljohnson.com. You want to book a one-to-one with me, you can just copy the QR code and that will take you to my diary. Really great to see you here and watching the catch up. Great for you to hear too. Do feel free to reach out, and if you've got any final questions, just let me know now.